Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Aditi Ghosh once again on your favorite Pythagorean numerology channel, Inner World Revealed, and this is your December 2022 numerology forecast. With this month of December this year, which is represented by this code 2022, is about to come to a closure. People are preparing to spend some holiday time with their families, coming together and preparing for a change to come for the new year which is about to set in. And truly, the feeling of this month is going to have the same undertone. We are all going to be preparing for this big change. The universal month number that is activated right now is 9, and 9 always ensures that certain things that we had become used to may make an abrupt exit. Things may take a sudden sharp turn, and many open projects which were actually going nowhere may suddenly end. And this feeling, when we think about it, actually can be very scary, right? But we must know that this would be the time to let go without any regrets and not clinging on. You're not supposed to cling on. The cycle has come to free our space, to free our time, and to lighten our minds so that we are able to embrace a change in our perspectives and we are able to make the transition. This is the time when we need to avoid taking on any new responsibilities. We can plan, we can do the needed research work, and we can also complete the pending paperwork. As a matter of fact, this is going to be a very good time for tying up the string of loose ends that we have, to clear the clutter in the closets and also in our minds, and taking things ahead to a state of completion. We need to keep on completing things. However, if we plan to take new initiatives or make new beginnings at this point, it may not have the longevity that is needed, or it may not be supported by the cycle. Now, when I see this number 9, I'm also reminded of the feeling of worldliness, which is going to grow in the people of the world. During this time, if I say that the world is greatly suffering and it needs our help, most of the people in the world would end up agreeing with me actually. And due to a certain turn of events, they're going to be inspired to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. They're going to be inspired to improve the situation of climate crisis, and are also going to feel strongly against the conflicts that are happening all over the world. All the acts of kindness and compassion are going to be supported, while any kind of evil or selfish motives may face strong backlash. During this time, it is important to show mercy and forgiveness. We would need to forgive by holding no grudges and no unmet expectations. We would need to show faith in the flow and abundance of the universe and realize that every move that has brought us here was probably not exactly what we had planned to do, but we have ended up being at the right place anyway. Being at the right place happens when we time ourselves correct, and correct timing and correct syncing ourselves with the flow of the universe is the ultimate remedy in numerology that anyone can offer, and I offer this to each one of you through these monthly forecasts. If you wish to get into the details of this simple method of syncing yourself with the cosmos, you can read my book Cycle of 9, which is all about correcting your personal timing and doing the right thing at the right time. Other than that, you can also read my book All is One, which is basically the first book that I've written, and it is for people who are totally new to the topic of Pythagorean numerology system and would like to begin by knowing themselves and also by knowing the people around them, and would like to understand what motivates people to do what they do. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, coming back to the primary topic, I'd like to now say that you all know the basic outline for December 2022 right now, okay? That is, what would be the overall trends of the month and how the people of the world as a whole are going to be acting. But to understand what would be your specific role in it, you need to look at your personal cycles. And for that, all that you need to know is your activated personal year number and the transition point that you have in the month. To know the activated personal year number, just add all the digits of your last birthday and reduce it to a single digit number, and this would be your ongoing personal year number, and this is going to last till your upcoming birthday. Now, to know the forecast specific to you, you just have to click on the personal year timestamp that is coinciding with your ongoing personal year number right now. The timestamps are provided in the description box below. To know the transition point in the month, mark the specific day of the month on which you were born in the calendar for December 2022, and this would divide the month into two parts. Say if you are born on the 20th of any month, then from the 1st to the 20th of December would be the first part of the month, while from the 20th to the 31st of December would be the second part of the month. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now that you know what your activated personal year number is and you also know the transition point of the month, let us now have a look at your monthly forecast, and let us begin with all of you who are in your personal year 1. So for you, the second part of November was about expressing all your ideas freely and using your creativity and your communication skills to your advantage. The first part of December is going to have the same trend again. It's going to continue. You need to be more open with your views and ideas, and you can also be a little more outgoing socially. Express yourself freely and let the inner child come out. The second part of December then would be a time to have a look at the core foundation of your life. And you have to see that the basics of your life are well looked after. You can finish off all the tasks that you had been putting aside. You can balance your checkbook, get all the pending and necessary repair jobs done, and most importantly, get your finances on the track. Be very careful about your money right now. If you take care of your money, it will take care of you. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 2 right now. And for you, the second part of November was about becoming more efficient and goal-driven. You needed to become more serious about your work and about managing your resources and managing your finances. The first part of December again is going to have the same trend continuing. You wouldn't be allowed to put off all the tedious basics of life, and you would need to make sure that everything is taken care of. No procrastination, okay? The second part of December then would be a very active time when many things may happen very quickly. And during this time, your social circle is going to become more active. So this is going to be a great time to throw a party or attend some social events. All in all, remember to keep it all light-hearted and avoid entering into any kind of serious long-term agreements. This is your time to enjoy yourself, okay? So don't enter into very serious agreements right now too quickly. You may as well find some sudden opportunities coming your way for that, and you will have to show some presence of mind and preparedness to deal with it. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 3, and for you, the second part of November was a very active time when communication with people increased and you felt completely involved with all the action. The first part of December for you is going to be a continuation of the same trend. Things would remain quite exciting and entertaining as well, and you would strongly feel the carefree note of this time. The second part of December then would be a time when your family would take the front seat and you would have to attend to the needs of your loved ones. During this time, don't neglect your home front and see how you can make your home more cozy, harmonious and comfortable. If you haven't met an important friend or relative for a while, just give them a call and have a nice chat with them. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 4. For you, the second part of November was a time when you needed to pay more attention to your home, your family and children. It was a time to strengthen your existing relationships and discard the ones that had served their purpose or were in some way illusory. The same trend would continue during the first part of December as well. Interpersonal relationships and home-based responsibilities are going to remain the main area of concern. As the month would transition into the second part, you would get some time to sit back and look inside yourself. You would need some time alone to contemplate. You would need to purify your mind, soul, and body. You would need to be calm and stay centered. Take a break, read a book, sit near the water, and appreciate the beauty of nature. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 5. For you, the second part of November was a bit of a silent time in an otherwise very happening and busy year. It was like a breather for all of you when you could, sit back and contemplate. The first part of December now is going to be a continuation of the same trend. You would need to be calm and stay centered and not push too hard for results. Take things on a more relaxed note. As the second part of December sets in, you would need to gear up and get ready for some serious work that has to be done. You would need to show energy, focus, and efficiency. Also, you'd need to pay attention to your finances and see that they are well looked after. If needed, try to be extra careful with money, otherwise you may make some mistakes, You would need to avoid becoming too argumentative as well, otherwise you may lose a good friend, so be careful about that. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 6. For you, the second part of November was an active time when responsibilities on your shoulder might have increased. You needed to show focus, energy, and efficiency and give your best in the field that you were dealing with. The first part of December now is going to be a continuation of the same trend. You would need to remain goal-oriented and very careful. Make sure that all your finances and all your resources are well looked after. As the second part of the month sets in, it would be a good time to make some changes. Do some house cleaning, get rid of the clothes that you don't wear much, throw away the papers that you no longer need, organize your space, free some space and make room for new things. Don't be scared of being a little charitable as well if needed. You may have something that perhaps is not of much value to you, but someone else may seriously be in need of it. So all these decisions that you're going to make right now would make you feel very good for quite some time. So this brings me to all of you who are in the personal year 7 now. For you, the second part of November was quite an introspective time, wasn't it? Perhaps you looked back at the past and took a stock of all the decisions that you'd made. It was necessary for you to have a forgiving and compassionate attitude and not hold on to the grudges of the past. The same trend shall continue during the first part of December as well. Remember to remain broad-minded, compassionate, sociable, and fair. Now, as the second part of December sets in for you, you'd need to show some decisive approach. You'd need to also be a bit inventive and out of the box. Your energy levels would also be slightly lifted and your courage will be rising. But do not make any strong or any kind of bold moves right now and remain a bit low profile. Remain patient and tolerant, but also take some initiatives and make some decisions. Okay, so this brings me to all of you who are in the personal year 8 right now. For you, the second part of November was a time to completely trust your instincts and make your moves by remaining focused, goal-driven, and courageous. It was your time to strike, or rather stand up with some force for what you believed was the right thing to do. The same trend shall continue during the first part of December as well. Then on, as the month would transition into the second part, you would need to subdue the aggressive and decisive energy quite a bit and embrace a more tactful, sensitive, diplomatic and cooperative approach. Strongly avoid arguments around this time and try to agree more with people. If you feel challenged by someone, try to use your persuasive skills on a softer tone. Finally, this brings me to all of you who are in the personal year 9. For you, the second part of November was about showing a more calm and composed approach. You were supposed to be compassionate, kind, modest, and cooperative in your dealings. You needed to offer some healing and comforting energy to the people who approached you. And the same trend shall continue during the first part of December as well. Your kindness, patience, and tact is going to be tested. Then on, as you transition into the second part of December, it would be a time to show more creativity and imagination. You can remain a little more carefree and happy-go-lucky and allow the inner child in you to come out. It is very possible that during this time you would receive more positive feedback, so don't hold yourself from sharing your feelings around this time. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the monthly forecast for the month of December 2022 for you. Luckily, this time, the month of December is also coming as the universal month 9, which means that by the end of December, we would be completing a complete cycle of universal months 1 to 9 coming within a year and ending with the last month of December. And surely this time December comes as an end to an epicycle of 1 to 9, and this is something so rare, you see, because most of us never get to complete our own first and last epicycles unless you're born during the personal year 1 and die by the end of the personal year 9. You don't get to complete your first and last cycles, and there's always some unfinished business which we long to finish up, and in order to do so we are born again to continue from where we had fallen off the grid. And this cycle just continues and goes on and on and on. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be lost in the cycle and quickly just hit the like button now. If you're still watching, I'm dead sure that you really like my work. So do care to support my work and support my channel. If you've already not supported by now, just subscribe to it and hit the notifications button so that you get updated whenever I upload a new log. Thanks a lot to all of you who have already shown so much love and support. Your love keeps me going. Thank you so much. Bye bye.